Hi. I made a video about this, but I didn't go in too deep about it. I just wanted to make a video that I really explain what I went through and still is going through, because it's something that really dug deep into my heart, and I just want you guys to make the decision if you want to take this medication or not. I'm obviously not a doctor, and I obviously don't tell you what you should do, but I strongly suggest that you should have the choice and you should know the side effects from this drug before actually taking it, because my doctors didn't tell me anything about it, and all the side effects came as a surprise for me. So I just want to make a video to let you guys know that don't have a clue about the drug, don't have a clue about what it does to you and what it can do to you if you suffer from the side effects. So the funny thing is, if we start off by saying that we're talking about a medicine, we're talking about a drug that should help you, that should fix your body, fix your mind, like fix you, you know, like that's what medications are for, isn't it? I've read this is like the miracle for people that suffer from inflammatory diseases like asthma, like a really badass asthma, like to the point where you can't breathe because you're inflamed. So you take the cortisone, the prednisone, right? And the drug just like relieves the inflammation. Well, that's one example. And then like if you suffer from really bad like a skin disease or anything like that has to do with like inflammatory stuff, this drug is like the best shit out there. Well, yes, I have an inflammatory disease also, but this isn't anything that shows on the outside or in my lungs or like anything like that. It's my kidneys. I suffer from a kidney disease called Buerger's, but the actual medical term for it is nephropathy, IgA nephropathy, chronic kidney disease, and I will live with it for the rest of my life. It was discovered last year. That's why I took the cortisone. It's actually the immune system that makes my kidneys, or a bacteria in my kidneys, to hit the kidneys itself. Like my kidneys doesn't function the way they should, so they're not able to clean my blood properly. But anyway, if we get to the side effects, that were kind of my points about this video. And I tell you, if a drug or a medication has a list, a 2-page list of side effects, you should strongly reconsider. But I'm telling you again, I'm not a doctor, and if your doctor says that if you don't take this drug you're gonna die, you better freaking take it. The consequences if not taking it is way worse, I guess, than the side effects. And also not everybody does get the side effects, but from what I've read, I actually got like most of them, so that's really fucked up. First of all, the moon face. You've seen me in my past vlogs. I'm way bigger than now, even though I'm not quite myself now either. My physique was way more fluffy, or whatever you want to call it. When you're on prednisone, or when you take the cortisone, right, your cortisone levels are high, which means that your body actually gathers liquid and it fills you with the liquid basically. But besides the liquid also is in the cheeks. Like every single human being has like these fat storages in the cheeks. When you're on this medication, it actually changes your body, changes where the fat stores in your body. So let's say that I never gain weight easily. Who knows, like after I've taken this medication, because transfers the fat in your body, it's to the face and to the neck and to the stomach. So those are the main areas that really gather fluids and that really gather like fat basically. I don't know if I still got fluids or fat in my cheeks, but I will get past this, because this face is not me, even though nobody notices any difference anymore. So by the way, I'm gonna talk about the appearance, the things that people and myself notice on the outside, and then I'm gonna talk about the inside stuff. Not just the face, like my whole body was swollen as shit. 12 kilos, whatever that is in pounds. Over a time of a week, 2 weeks, I was 12 kilos heavier. I got to the point where I just had to stay inside and work from home, because like my finger, like everything, like on the scalp down to my toes, like I was swollen in every single spot. Like my fingers was like, I couldn't even like grab a fist because my fingers were so swollen. My neck and chin, I had a chin like that one dude from Star Wars. I'll insert his picture over here. Like I had his double chin, right? And the chin just continued around my face, like it was just like a big ass blob. Like I didn't have a face and a neck, I just had a blob on top of my shoulders, right? My stomach was like I don't know, twice as big as it's now. The biggest thing was my legs. My legs got to the point where I couldn't even walk properly, because when I walked, my just like rubbed against each other when I walked. And not to talk about my feet were as cushions. My feet were as two pillows. Any shoes didn't fit. I just got to the point where I had to stay home because I couldn't go anywhere. I was stuck at home. A third thing was acne. Acne like all over my face. It started like from a few pimples, but then it just spread from my forehead down to my cheek. Then I also got some on my shoulders and on my back. That was a big thing I didn't like think about, but I just noticed like from day to day that I just gained more bumps on my face. And also I had hair loss, and that was one thing that I didn't quite notice. I just noticed that my hair was thinning. But actually now afterwards, if you can see like this section, as you can see, this is just some short ass hairs. Like this is one section that actually my hair just like fell out, you know, like in the shower or whatever. It just tore out of my head basically. On the back of my head, I don't know if you can see it, it's like this kind of scalpy blonde like patch that still hasn't like grown out hair. So, or it does have hair on it, but it's not like thick hair or dark hair. So I'm just waiting for my hair to grow that it just covers the spot. And then we can talk about the muscle loss, just strength basically. So I got to the point where I could fit jeans, where I could fit shoes again. I just started like walking around, and immediately I just noticed like in every hill it was like the biggest adventure just to get up this tiny hill, because it just took the breath out of me. Difficult. It was so after that, when I actually could walk, I could go to the gym again. I progressed a little bit, so I wanted to try a backflip, right? Because like the tricker life has always been like this thing that is like, it's just me. Like you've seen my videos. I tried the backflip, right? I was so confident because the muscle memory was still like on point in my head, you know. I tried this backflip, right? And like when I was mid-air, I was like, hey, this is going well, you know, like. But then like the second after that, bam, I just hit the ground, like almost like face planted the ground. And basically I did everything right, but my muscles in my legs, they weren't just able to push me from the ground and get me into the air. So that was one thing that really got me super down also, because like moving and being like this extreme dude has been like my life since like being a teenager. So now all of a sudden not being able to do stuff that you love, you know, like it just sucked, you know. Dude, I tried not to cry because whatever, dude. Alright, so let's talk about the inside. That was like the craziest part about this whole journey. Oh, no, sorry, I still have one thing. On the outside, it's actually the stretch marks that I got. So I got like these big ass stretch marks on my thighs, and basically they're not gonna go away like ever because they're stretch marks, right? So I'm gonna show you. But anyway, for a guy in my age, I'm 24, this is not normal. Look at this. I'm not gonna show you my dick, but you guys see that? But it's something that I've gotten used to, so I don't mind them that much. So it's just shit you have to deal with. Like shit happens, you know. Alright, so talking about the inside, right? Start off by the mind. I got depressed. I got anxious. Like, it was shit that I already dealt with before getting this sickness and before getting on the medications and stuff. And this thing just didn't make stuff any easier. So, to the point where I was so anxious and so depressed that I didn't leave my apartment for months. So I started working from home and just didn't, like, you know, go outside to meet friends or like anyone basically, because I was just so afraid to show me to the world, because the person that I was on the medication wasn't me, you know. So I didn't want to face the world because this medication had turned me into a person that I no longer recognized in the mirror. So I just thought that it's better to be inside, you know, like you're safe in your own space, you know, like you can be whoever you want to be in that space because you don't have to impress anyone or look up to anyone besides yourself. So I just started not to give a shit, you know, like I just started to like feeding myself with candy. I could eat like a kilo of candy and then I just had eaten a pizza or anything like that. I just stuffed myself, which actually made the moon face worse and the swelling worse, and just everything just got fucked. I couldn't find like happiness in anything, you know. So it really tore me apart to see myself the way that I looked, and then to have these thoughts that I'm not like worthy to be shown to anyone, because, and also not to talk to anyone because no one would understand how I felt inside, you know. So I just made the decision to stay inside. So yeah, that's about that. And once I actually started going outside, I started having panic attacks on buses, on trains, this huge amount of people, and just thought to myself that what would these people think about me if I would pass out right now, because I'm just feeling like I'm on the edge of passing out, you know. So I just like started winding myself up, you know. It was hell. It was hell to be on any public transportation, and I still deal with that shit because I dealt with it before this medication, and during this medication, like everything just got fucked on a whole new level, you know. Tired all the time. I was angry, I was frustrated. It was so confusing. Like I didn't recognize myself at all. It was hell. The doctors call this psychosis. When you're dealing with stuff like mentally, psychosis was one hell of a ride, and it wasn't a fun one. But then I got to the point where I started reducing the medication, and I started to go out and not to give a fuck about much, to like meet my friends again and try to go out like bars or restaurants or whatever. Then I noticed like immediately when we were in a crowded place, like I could hear like every sound. I could see everybody's faces, I could see everybody's eyes just or at least it felt like they were looking at me. And I just couldn't like keep up with the conversations that my friends had because I was just in my own bubble, you know. So after that, I just opened up to them also and said that, guys, I'm just not ready yet. So even my friends, they tried to help me, they tried to get me out and like to have a good time, but it just wasn't, I wasn't able to accept that, because physically and mentally couldn't accept their help, and that was something that really bothered me also. Like, that's so freaking unfair. Wow, I'm actually a long way on this list now. Yeah, well, I mean, basically that's my list. So yeah, now afterwards, I quit the medication in June, right? So I've been without it for June, July, August, September, October, November. So six months has gone by, and I still suffer from side effects from this medication. I still got chubby cheeks, right? And my mind is still so fucked up, but I can't blame just the medication. It's due to a lot of things that I don't want to go in about right now. well, since there's no cure for it, my doctors are trying to give me other kinds of medications for my blood pressure, because this disease causes high blood pressure. So they're just trying basically to save my kidneys by keeping the blood pressure as low as possible. So that's like my plan for the future, I guess. Like just reading about all those side effects and what I went through, it hurts so much. Like that shit gives me anxiety to. So this is just like a message for everyone that has to do with prednisone. You guys feel me, you guys know what I went through, at least I hope so. Like people don't just understand you. Like if people try to help you, right? They try their best, and I respect that, and we all should respect them, but they just don't know what we go through. And that's super sad also, but there's nothing we can do about that. I guess that there are like other kinds of steroids that you can take that helps your disease and illness or whatever. I'm not sure. Ask for another medication if that's possible, because this shit is hell. Hell, it's basically hell in a tiny pill. You shouldn't take life for granted, because at any time a sickness can hit you and you're basically fucked. So thankful for what you have and that you live without any illnesses if you're a normal human being. Thanks for watching. Sorry it was a dark episode, but what can you do?